Alright, guys, welcome back. So, 3 years. Let's see if any of my knowledge has increased and I don't sound like a total fool recording videos saying don't judge and then saying they're talking about how I'm going to judge fat people. Let's see how this goes. So, my rant for today, rant number 1 most likely. People in toxic relationships. I feel really bad for people in them. Been there, done that. And I'm not just talking about a toxic relationship with your spouse. I'm talking about toxic relationships with friends, with family members, and everything. So my words of advice at the beginning of this. I have family that is not blood, and I have blood that is not family. And that's something that I really try to keep in mind. Through the years as I grow up and become more mouthy and mature, as I like to call it, I really see the side of people that I didn't see as a kid. I see the financial struggles and I see the attitudes and I see the way that certain people treat people. I am a firm believer in whatever energy you put out into the world, you'll receive back. As a particular book that I'm hoping to read soon states, what you put out comes back to you times 3. So for me, a big thing, like this is my biggest thing. I complain all the time. I have a ranting YouTube channel. Come on. So I've slowly realized that the more negativity that I do put out there, the more I do seem to get back. So something I'm trying to focus on is, okay, I'm going to be positive. Like, for example, I stated, go team for work. We're going to make it through this, even if there's some little minor steps wrong. We're going to power through it. So it's kind of the mindset that I'm going to try to push through some things. I'm currently going through a pretty rough patch right now. I'm having some difficulty finding a second job or even just a different one that pays more. So it's kind of been a struggle, bills-wise. So my goal right now is to try to think as positive as possible with, okay, I can get this job because I know how to do it. I know how to work hard. I know how to learn quickly. So that's going to try to be my mindset going into this, applying it to new jobs soon. Advice or rants for people in toxic relationships. I have watched so many friendships fall apart just because they cling on to something, just because they think they can't do any better. I don't care if you think you're the ugliest person in the world, the most annoying person ever, you don't think that anybody likes you. There is always something better out there. I'm not going to say, like, just because you're happy in a relationship means there's something's better out there. It could be true, it could be not. But I'm talking about, like, if you have that friend who is always dissing on your life, always knocking how you live, always talking down to you, always degrading you, you don't need that in your life. Sometimes everyone needs a little knock to kind of remind them who they are and kind of help build them up a little bit. You have to knock yourself down to build yourself back up sometimes. And that's really common. But at the same time, if it's a constant 100% of the time thing, that's not something you need in your life. If, you going to have a conversation with someone and they are just, you already are mentally prepared for so much negativity, you don't need that in your life. Now, I'm not saying you need to just ditch people because of their negativity. Try to work on it first. And that's something that a lot of people don't do anymore. They don't work towards anything anymore. It's just, oh, well, this isn't easy, so I give up now. No, that's not how it works. Sit down with that person, talk to them, whether it's your best friend, your significant other, if it's a family member even. You've just got to come at it from that approach of, all right, look, I have a problem here, and I believe that we have a problem here, and I really need to address the situation, Sit down and be like, okay, we need to have a heart-to-heart. We need to clear some stuff in the air. Like that negative friend, going back to that. Sit them down and be like, all right, look, I cannot deal with this constant dissing. I don't care if you don't like this and this person I talk to or this and this. If it's hanging out with me and not hanging out with you, it doesn't affect you. you know, and that steps back into the work life too. That's a really good like approach to taking your work life. Like, yeah, it's nice to have friends at work, but try to keep work and home separate. You know, I recently really looked into how that works. The more I keep my home life separate from my work life, the better that it seems to get, the better I seem to progress in the workplace. You know, they always say when you walk into work, leave the outside business in the world. And whenever you walk out of work, leave work at work. You know, and I'm starting to realize how true that statement is. You know, if you have those problems and you're just like, man, I just really need to rant to them, try to hold off. Try to do it outside of work. You know, be like, hey, you know, can I talk to you about this later? Or be like, hey, I'm coming in early so I can do this. Although if someone else is on the clock, don't do it, because then it's just really distracting. I'm trying to learn this. I am. So if my boss is watching this, I'm trying. But just, you know, take a step back. You know, if that person is doing nothing but negative things in your life, step back. Be like, okay, do I need this? Is this something that can be fixed? So always try to go with the can this be fixed approach. Sit them down, talk to them, explain what's going on, you know, be like, you're degrading this and it's really putting me down. You know, I can't handle you doing this because it's just not okay. You know, that $20 that you borrow every week from me, we've got to figure something out. We've got to help you get a better job. So even if it's just constant negativity, don't just knock them away. Don't just throw them away. Because then you're going to feel guilty about it. They're going to probably just drown. You know, try to help them. Help them through that. And also, if you feel like there's a lot of negativity, reflect on yourself for a second. Think of how much negativity you're putting into it. Are you just as degrading as they are? Are you the one who's always bumming off of them? Are you the one who's never there for them whenever they need it? And then you complain that they're never there for you when you need it. You know, it's just a lot of things to think of. So, toxic relationships. Do you need it in your life? Is it something that's fixable? Try to approach it, fix the situation. If it gets to that point where you're sitting there like, you know, man, I can't have this. I can't have this stuff going on. I can't have you acting like this. And they come at you with the approach of, well, if you don't like it, then you can just go somewhere. Instant, cut off, right there. Turn around, just walk out the door. I don't care if you got 2 months worth of memories or 20 years worth of memories. If that's how they're going to behave, then you do not need that in your life. And in 2 or 3 months when they realize what they've lost, don't let them come crawling back. No matter how much they beg, plead, nothing. Do not let them back. And then think about your life in that time span and think, wow, I have this weight lifted off of me because that person is no longer there dragging me down. So, come at it from a nice, positive approach. Positivity, positivity, positivity. I will preach and preach and preach that. Try to come at it as positive as possible. If it's that, you know, toxic significant other and you're stuck, you're living with them, they're paying your bills, you know, you can't get a job. Try and try and try. I beg you, try so hard to find that friend, that support group that will help you out. You know, you would be amazed at the number of people in your family where whenever you do hit rock bottom and they see you hitting rock bottom, will help you out. So, my rant for today, if that toxic relationship is dragging you down in your life, first, is it me? Approach it. Discuss it. And then from there, it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to start working towards a goal of getting better, or you need to cut it off then and there. Seek help if you need it from friends, family, someone that you trust thoroughly, and you will be amazed at the results that you find. So, signing off.